Just crank it up. That's it. Welcome back. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, whole lot of truth, no financial advice. It is Spanish Wednesday, so all the songs on the show tonight will be Spanish. But beyond that, it's a whole lot of English, and it's the end of an era. I'll explain the end of the era right now as we talk. As you guys know, the work-from-home workplace, it was going great for a lot of people. COVID, sure. Everyone doesn't want to get back to work, but if you saw what the CEO of Uber has said, then you look at other companies like Microsoft, Google, everyone's telling their employees get back to work, Amazon, IBM, Snapchat. All the CEOs went out there and told their employees, get your ass back to the office, and this is how we find value in the human capital itself. Now, the end of the other era. Google will no longer, allegedly, be the number one search engine. Now, for me, I love Google. It's easy, it works, and I get better results from Google than I would from Bing or any other search engine. But right now, OpenAI and Apple are making deals to go ahead and use AI, artificial intelligence, as the number one search engine, not Gemini through Google. So if you guys do not see what's crashing right now after that announcement, it's Google. Google's having the 9th worst day in the history of the stock, and it's actually trading right now down around $13, considering they have about 11 billion shares. They're losing almost $150 billion as we speak. And that's of market cap itself. So falling down for all the right reasons. And why? Because time has come and gone. Maybe you're not going to be the best at everything you do forever. You know, when I grew up, guys, the number one thing growing up, and through TV, through door-to-door sales, everything, was Publishers Clearinghouse. If you guys do not remember, they used to do sweepstakes. Initially, it started out around $500 a person could win. And if you had 10 winners for the year, people were buying and subscribing to print magazines. Multiple. I don't care if it's National Geographic or those little highlight ones you guys used to get where you used to find things that were missing or hidden objects in the coloring books. We all did it. We all knew what it was to have a subscription via Publishers Clearinghouse. But somewhere in there, they got sued. Somewhere in there, people decided, you know what? I can do better online. Kind of a la Playboy. But Publishers Clearinghouse actually filed for bankruptcy this month. And I want to just let you guys know, is it a private equity deal? No, it's just, hey, you dinosaur yourself out of here. So Google, do I think you're going to be the number one search engine forever? No. Did I anticipate that? No. There used to be the TV guide. There used to be Encyclopedia Britannica. There used to be a lot of things. But technology changes industries. I just want to know what company wants to adapt with the industry changes. That's it. And if it wasn't you guys, we'll find out very soon. But Alphabet is a massive company. Trillions and trillions of dollars. You know, I was thinking about the headline I told you guys yesterday where this lady came out and she said, hey, the government's been hiding $21 trillion and building a city underground for all the wealthy rich. And I said, 21 trillion? That's a lot of money. Okay, what company has $21 trillion of worth? Like, what company has a net worth that increased that much, and or any company that increased that much? There wasn't any. Not construction-wise. You know, you would have to see some boom for something like that to happen. There has to be money and a trail to it. So you got to miss some of this bullshit that's coming out. But I'll give you all the headlines. I'll give you all the updates. There are things I want to talk about. Obviously, the Fed's going to meet today, and I anticipate the Fed, Jerome Powell, saying nothing. I think the distraction of the Fed doing nothing and the market selling off after he does nothing is the fact that Scott Bessent was on the Hill today. Scott Bessent on the Hill this morning. We're going to go ahead and highlight on that. If you guys do not know who Scott Bessent is, he is our treasurer for the United States. And he took over for Janet Yellen. Janet Yellen was previously the head of the Fed before she took over as a treasurer. And, you know, the thing about Scott Bessent is he's the second openly gay person in the government as far as like Peter Buttigieg or whatever his name was. This is the highest ranking openly gay person ever in the United States government. I don't think it matters. I don't care what he is or what he's not. I'm more along the lines of finding out the allegiance and the lines that they cross, and I'm talking about financially. You know, I was watching this very sensitive subject of a Twitter person who was writing out, and they said, or it was TikTok, I don't know. She said, hey, can you guys give me one reason why transgender individuals shouldn't be in the military? Just tell me that and I'll shave my head. And I was just like, wow, lady. Like, these are people that don't understand the actual... I would just tell you the infrastructure of war, of being combat ready and effective. The military doesn't adjust to you. You adjust to it. right? Like, there's not going to be people that are physically incapable. And how do you actually figure out who is capable? Whether they have flat feet, bad eyesight, no hearing, height, small, fat, weight, whatever it may be, just so that you know to defend this country. It's not that all things are created equal, and it's not that we all have the same footprint and opportunities. That's not how it works. If there was that way, then there wouldn't be standards. I'm just saying. But to regulate those standards, they do idolize two things. There's male and female, and they have a separate standard. If you wanted to be a different identity, well, it's just fine. You have that prerogative. I don't know if you're going to be able to compete with the other said time frame. So I'm just saying it's an employer, the United States government. So if you guys ever have those questions about being combat ready and effective, I would challenge you to join a unit. I would challenge you to then implement those policies onto the military, and then you'll find out just how tough it could be. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it's very difficult to try to change the military and then you try to change yourself. I mean, it's going to be a lot. It's a lot. And there's medication that comes involved. And I'll tell you what, if diabetics can't join, it's going to be tough because it's hard to get those medications, the meds out there to the field 24/7 daily. There's just a lot of hurdles involved. I mean, you remember, speed bumps turn into hurdles, and then you can't get over them, and they turn into roadblocks. So I'm not saying I advocate one way or the other. I'm just letting you know how difficult it is. That's all I'm saying. I'm highlighting. So back to the government highlighting these issues. Right now you have Scott Bessent sitting on the Hill trying to defend a position that they're giving full access to DOGE and their employees to government files, not knowing that the DOGE employees are actually vetted Treasury employees. They are actually vetted professionals in their fields. So, yeah, I would tell you they have full disclosure and they can do whatever the hell they want. And I wouldn't care. Just find me the fraud. Maxine Waters or anyone else out there sitting on the Hill, I want to ask you, why are you guys so mad? Why are you so mad at the government for finding fraud and doing the right thing? Why are we bashing the people doing it? I'm telling you now. I'll tell you why. Because you got a rubber stamp. You got a rubber stamp that just stamps anything that comes across your desk, and you don't read it. You don't care where the money's going because it's not your money to lose. It's our money. It's the people. And that's why I get upset. And that's why I try to stand here and tell you guys, invest your money wisely, take care of it, respect it, and defend it. That's all I'm asking you to do. And I defend them in the words and a video and a stance. But be careful what you read. Be careful who you back, whom you back. I'm going to show you some stuff today that's going to open up your eyes on what David Liebrecht is versus Scott Bessent versus the new person that they're putting in charge over here at the government when they were moving people around. Because if you guys don't know, David Liebrecht went out here and said, no, DOGE employees, you don't get access to the, to all the books, to all the timelines, to everything. And we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about GameStop short volume. GameStop exempt short volume. We're going to talk about GameStop selling off all their stores in Canada. I haven't even gone over the whole docket, what it is. I just have the websites. I have everything lined up, ready to go. I don't have time to review it. I review it with you. If I could review it before we review it, well then shit, my show would be dynamite. But the thing is, there's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day to go over it. But we'll go over charts as well. I have zero time. I'm always trying to work out, trying to run around. Took my nephew to school this morning. Took my sister-in-law to work this morning. Running back and forth. I was barefoot at the gas station. Didn't give a shit. Put in $18. That was my budget for the day for gas. Put it in 3.5 gallons. Yes, I live in California. And then I got the hell back home. I start playing. Boom, boom, boom. I got to find songs to play. I got to find charts to do. Let's just do it together. How about that? And I'm reading Discord. I'm trying to do my best and all the messages you guys send. I just want to tell you guys, thanks again for showing up. Thank you guys for all the support. We're having a hell of a week, hell of a day, and a hell of a year. GameStop, $26 and some change. Let's go look at the charts really quick before we jump into it. Yes, I was showing you Google. That's one thing. And Google's coming down 152, and it should come down even further because, some news comes out, right? That should trigger everything. The news. Not for me. Not for me. All right, let me see if it's popping. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the SPY first. We'll go ahead and look at SPY. Here's the SPY having a rebound. I call this the pain trade. If you guys are not familiar, the pain trade is anything when you go down violently, you come up violently, and then you'll go ahead and step back down. We're using the 200-day moving average. It's right there, the gold line. We're using that as a level of resistance. We bounce our head up off of the 200-day moving average, psychological bears. When investors see this, that means the institutional longs have gone down, and they're selling off. That's why the 50-day moving average has come down. It's hard to find institutional longs past volatile movements. This is why GameStop was tough. 4 years ago, GameStop goes all the way to the sky. Everyone claims they're diamond hands. People are bullshitting online. They're pumping stocks. They're doing AMC. They're doing Bed Bath & Beyond. They're doing, HYMC. They're doing all other investments. But they weren't really diamond hands. Some of us who've been here for 4.5 years plus, we're diamond hands, right? If you're inking all day and you've been here for 5+ years, if you're my other guy who's been here for, I don't even know how long he's been, what was he, like since 2004? There are some dudes out here like diamond hands on GameStop, which I'm down with. But look at the SPY itself. Nobody's diamond hand with the market. The way the market trades is there's day traders in here. Day traders have turned into gamblers. Investors have turned into day traders. And then there's us, the blind, the wicked. We're the one walking around saying, oh, yeah, I see a buying opportunity. It's kind of wild. And you know what's the best buying opportunity and what tells me? I was reading this piece that Jay sent to me. Jay sent me a piece, and it was about Larry Chang. And Larry Chang was talking about the time that he traveled to China in 2002. Larry Chang goes to China, meets with some people, meets with some Goldman Sachs people, and they're telling him, they're like, hey, man, we got this company called Alibaba. Its valuation's coming in with profits, $250 million. I think we should buy it. I think you guys should invest, blah, blah, blah. Alibaba. Nobody liked the name. Nobody liked the environment. It was dot-com bubble crash. And then you had SARS, which was severe acute respiratory syndrome. And that was supposed to be killing people off. And when they breathe, old people get it and they can't contain. Kind of like COVID, right? So we all knew the fears of SARS and everything. They didn't invest. He didn't invest in Alibaba. Guess what? You can't pass up on these opportunities when everyone's fearful, everyone's running away from things. You got to run at them. Just like that in life. If you're afraid of these problems in front of you, if there's difficulties, if there's a person you don't get along with, don't walk away from it. Run at it. Say, excuse me, what's the problem? Confront the issue. Be confrontational, but respectful. Do all these things. And me too, with my money. I'm right there. I'm saying, why? Why do I have to buy Kohl's because it's down at $6 and the book value tells me that it's only 1/5 of 100%? It's 20%. It's crazy. Like, this thing should be trading for much more than 20% book, but it's not. It's not, because there's fundamentals involved. There's people involved. There's board of directors that are manipulating markets and outcomes. So I said to myself, let me sit back, because I saw this happen with Big Lots. I saw it, but there's still a lot of runway at Kohl's. I'm just telling you guys, there's a lot of tread on the tires. There's a lot of assets to burn, but they could all burn down. They could all burn down real soon, considering this government that we're sitting in, and well, I'd say this administration, but it's tough to blame any administration. How about just blame the fear of the market itself? So we'll go back to it. Let's go and look at the MAG 2000. I call it the MAG 2000 because apparently everybody is influential on the Russell 2000. Check this out. Russell 2000 can't even get up to the 50-day or the 200-day moving average. It's bouncing on the 50-day moving average, really selling off. So if I were to substitute and or take out the MAG 7, this is what the market really looks like. MAG 7 has a lot of strength, so much strength they can hit the 200-day moving average up top and still use this 50-day as support. Well, not here. Not the Russell 2000. Can't do it. It's a death cross, and it hits, and it's gone. This means the market's not doing well. Guys, I would encourage you to go ahead and buckle in. I'll tell you, buckle in over the next 6 months. It looks like it's all going to come falling down, because Wall Street doesn't do this. Wall Street doesn't fight the trend. They roll with it. And right now, the water's rushing in. Whether you want to swim against the current or just take the pathway down. You know, there's a picture here that I showed on the screen. This picture here on my start screen is GameStop going up the elevator, the escalator, while all of Wall Street's going down. That's symbolic to this market. This market right now, they don't know which way to roll. But there is a company out here that has trend lines completely opposite of the rest of the world. Pay attention to the 50-day and the 200-day moving average. GameStop is about to pierce over the golden cross very soon. They are going to have an uptrend on their investment, on their stock, and you're going to look at every other company that has what we call a death cross. Microsoft, one. Meta, about to approach a death cross right there. Google, death cross. Amazon, death cross. Apple, death cross. Nvidia, death cross. Tesla, death cross. Russell 2000, death cross. SPY, death cross. So the complete opposite of what GameStop is versus what the market is. I want the inverse. If the market's going down, that means I'm going up. You're investing past the macro. That's exactly what you want. You want to be fearless, not fearful. If I'm invested in a company that I feel anyone could run and it could be profitable, well, that's every other company out there because these companies are self-sustained. They run on their own. Go look at Tesla. They don't have a CEO. Apple runs based dependent on what China's doing. It's not necessarily Tim Cook being innovative and going, you know what, I think this is a great idea. What's the influence of Microsoft CEO? What's the influence of Amazon and NVIDIA? It's not there. They roll with trends of the market. They roll with trends of the economy because they are the economy. Now, you have this idea of finding a stock in a company that's in the S&P 400, mid-cap, not in the S&P 5. It means when the market comes down, gets corrected, SPY gets corrected, SPX gets corrected, not GameStop. GameStop gets to do this thing like stagflation, where stocks go up, down, or sideways. GameStop gets to go sideways while the market comes down. And what happens is you find that sweet spot and you slip right in. Get your head out of the gutter, people. GameStop's getting in the S&P 500. I don't know how long it's going to take. I just know it's going to take profits. It's going to take leadership, and it's going to take you as a consumer, as an individual. And we have plenty of things to talk about there, too, and we will. As we go to the website itself, this is GameStop. They do in-store events. If you guys are not familiar with this, this is a great little niche that they're doing. In-store events here, you can go, you do a rip and submit, magic meetup, and trade and play event for Pokemon cards. They're also doing Loricana Sundays. Loricana is actually going to be issuing out their new Chapter 9 edition in September of 2025 coming up. It was just announced. TCG Tuesdays, rip and submit. So the whole month is planned out. You get to click and find a store if you want to go ahead and do all of this, okay? So Beyblade Kitten Store. I don't know what Beyblade is, but is that game? I don't know. But there's a lot going on here. Even Elden Ring, Night and Rain, Deluxe Edition, the pre-order bonus. You can do that at the end of the month. There's a lot going on for video games, which is cool. And I know my cards are ready to get picked up. They told me. I don't have time to drive down there today. I'll drive tomorrow. It's Thursday. But I want people to know something. I know that we're always talking GameStop. And it's like, yo, GameStop, man, that little card has nothing to do with the cards and the video games and all of this. It has nothing to do with GameStop and why we're invested. This whole channel has everything to deal with private equity and the way GameStop has pushed out private equity from doing a hostile takeover on them and Ryan Cohen defending your investment and making it a better place, a better business. It doesn't happen in America. It's tough. You make more money on bankruptcy. You make more money not making a profit. That's just the truth. Imagine if you could get traded. Look at this, okay? If I could get traded from losing team to losing team in the NFL and get paid to help them lose every game. Mind you, I don't get tackled as much. I don't get sacked as much. All I got to do is throw the ball to the other team often and or take days off and don't show up to work. That's all I got to do. And I'm going to get paid millions? Let me do this till I'm 55. Let me do this till I'm 60, 70, and 80. Well, there's one winner on the other side. The winner just might be Warren Buffett and all the companies that he's invested with because he figured this game out a long time ago too. A lot of people did. And so here we are watching Connect the Dots, trying to put it together, saying, okay, I know the next one. I know the next move. And I told you guys, I highlight them from time to time. But I'm looking at things and I'm looking at trends and I say to myself, okay, Fed meeting coming, no cuts coming, market's going to go down. Interest rates are going to stay sustained, and people are going to get pissed off, and they're like, you're not doing your job, Jerome Powell. But what's Jerome Powell doing? He's doing what's necessary considering the data that he has. But more so, look at Cathie Wood. What is she doing? Cathie Wood just sold all her Palantir stock. Well, $41 million worth of it. Not a lot of money to some people, but it's a signal. It's a signal that Palantir comes out stronger than ever this quarter. Crazy amount of money they brought in. They had increases on revenue, top line revenue, net profit. They had increases everywhere, even cash on hand. Palantir downgraded, price target around $85, coming down from $125. Why? Because they're trading at a 600 PE ratio. People know how overvalued this market is. You have to find the pockets within it if you want to play those games. Me, I just buy GameStop. I just buy GameStop, and I don't stop buying GameStop because the one thing about GameStop is it's not evaluated correctly. They have not given it its fair value. Until they do, I'll be right here telling you, I told you so. Because at $25, $26, $27 a share, market cap of $11 billion, $12 billion. No way. No way. They could leverage themselves. Think about this. I'm just going to tell you, it's not a smart move to do. But you can leverage yourself in a Covey-light environment. So that means, if you guys are not familiar with what that means, covenants are placed upon your company whenever you borrow money. This is why I don't agree with Tiffany and this other girl, Matilda, who are like, these backfloating loans are going to bankrupt companies. This is what's happening with America. That's not what's happening with America, because show me how all these companies took money and then show me the covenants. Because I want to know. This is a loan that no one's talking about. No, it has to be fully transparent on publicly traded companies. They don't get to take money and give money and no one not know about it. It literally will. You have to have it written somewhere. This is what they did. Like, everything's transparent on publicly traded companies. So this boogeyman shit, I don't have time for. But I'm telling you now, GameStop has $6 trillion. I'm so sorry. I'm 20 years ahead of myself. My bad, guys. GameStop has $6 billion. They have $6 billion cash, which is more cash than Palantir. Palantir has a value of $300 billion, $250 billion. Go figure. More cash than Target. More cash than Home Depot. They have a lot of cash, guys, that they have zero corporate debt on. So if they haven't leveraged themselves to the banks on covenants, on loans, they could leverage that cash 10-1. They could. Guess what? What's their cash on hand now? They borrowed money. Let's just, I won't even exaggerate. I'll do something like you. You have collateral, and what do? You get to borrow money, right? Yeah, I got $6 trillion. Okay, I got $6 billion. So maybe you give me $10 billion cash. Now I'm sitting on $16 billion. What are you going to tell me my company's worth or not worth? What are you going to do? GameStop has no loan facility. They have no cash that's debted out, corporate debt. They have liabilities under $1 billion, yet they have tons of money. They raised $4 billion last year, and they could do it again. They could do it again, but there's some signals out there, guys. Ooh, baby. You guys, man, I find the triggers. You guys know what 3% is? 3% of off-exchange exempt trades. I've talked about this last year, and it just hit my brain right as I'm talking to you. Hold on. Let me get it ready. Oh, you sack of shit. You're going to love this. All right. Okay. All right. GameStop. Here. Okay. So, right here. You see this day here, guys, where GameStop has a huge down day? Huge down day, the 27th. Write all these dates down. 3/27. Write it down with me. 3/27. Okay. Huge down day, right? Came crashing down. Let's find another down day. Oh, there's a pretty good down day right there. The 31st. Oh, right here, the big one, huh? 14th. Oh, I moved that. I didn't want to move that. Damn it. I accidentally moved that. That needs to go up. Okay, but the 14th was a big down day. Right here, right? 14th, okay. So 114. Marantz, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy. Watch this shit. Watch this. Oh, look at this down day right here. Look at this step down. 9/11. 9/11. How fitting. 9/11, big day. I'm looking for big markdown. What's this? The 5th? 8/5. We know what that was. That was a carry trade from Japan. I bet you $1,000. Look at this shit right here. 7/1. I'll check you out, 7/1, just for fun. Okay, so then you have all these massive days here from last year when the stock was pumping and Roaring Kitty was going live. Okay, cool. So we have 7, 5. Oh, over here. 7, 5, 15, 16, and 14. Okay. So 6, 7, 6, 5, 5 a year ago, right? It was 14, 15. It was 14. You remember the days. 14 through 17. Okay, we'll look at that. All right, so we're gonna see if my theory holds true, okay? Now, mind you, last year, 5/7, The stock was already shooting up. The stock went on that day, opened at $15, low was $14.9, closed at $16.30. So we closed at $16.30 this time last year. We're up $10 from now to then in a year. Phenomenal. But let's go look at what my theory is. All right. Here is GameStop's short interest. Okay, short volume, I should say. Now, as you look at these little things up top, these colors, they're going to tell you what's what. So I can go ahead and look at the blue right here. The dark blue is going to be the CHX exchange. Then you have the New York American, New York National. Then it'll be New York ACRA right here, New York Exchange itself. Okay, cool. All right. So here's my theory, is that to destroy the stock and make it move down, kill the stock, like really bad, like suppress the price, right? 3%. Right here, off exchange, if this is 3%, right now it's 0.33 right now, today, as of yesterday. But whenever it goes to like a percent or higher, 1%, 2 or 3, that's massive suppression for GameStop. Let's go look at it. 4.2 was at 1%. 1%, that's pretty good on 4.2. So what we do is we look at 4.2 and we go back to the charts. And I just going to show you how I'm looking at this. 4.2 right there. So from here to here, they went ahead and took it down. Had a step down in the stock. So of course, we went all the way down to $21 from 23. So from 23 to 21, that's 10%. A 10% drop. All right, but I'm down with you. I'm tracking. That was just with 1%. The breaking point is 3%, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I said previously. I just want to see if it holds true. So there's that. Let's go look at these totals, though. Remember, I have dates here. The dates were 327. 327, right here. Boom. Stock price got knocked down, knocked it down in the dirt. 3.22% was off exchange. Right there, exempt. 3%. Another day that I have, 114. Let's see. Nope. Remember, massive moves down. No, even a 166 right there, but no, let's see. 114, look at this. On 115 and 114, 1.5 and a half and 384. You guys want to talk about suppression? That's the giveaway right there. Whenever the off exchange is up approaching 3% or higher. 911, we said, 911. 911, right here, 3%. Boom, 3% off exchange. Suppression and price does not matter. 8.5 to 8.4. Right here, 4% of the trade was suppressed off exchange. And then we can go to 7.1 if we want to get it really lucky and see if it's actually holding true. And of course, right there, it was already trading in the 2s and 3s every day. It was getting held down. And then last year during the whole run, you had 3% here, all the way down to 5% on the 18, 4%. So up to 5% of the whole trade was off exchange. And then you look here, this is the run up during Roaring Kitty's days, right here last year. 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4, 495, almost right there. Wow, and that's a big day right there, 514 also. So right here, 375 and 545, and all the way down here, 57 was 526, 5.26%, all the way to 5.32%, and that was 5.6 and 5.7 of last year. So, yes, you have the signals of when this stock is going to get suppressed based off of how much off-exchange exempt trades go down. Now, 5.6, 5.7, what happened over there? Right here, so it was 5.3, 5.6, 5.7. Wow, they held it down. Shit, so we were going to go. We were going to explode. After 5.3, we were going to take off, and they held us flat, and we still bought. It was still too much bullish movement. You couldn't hold us, bro. So finally, you got a hold of it way up here on 5.14. Yeah, and then you start pushing it down. Wow. That's the true signal. That's the story. I can live with it though. So here's another part. Here's the top line, okay, from previous downtrend of the 3.5 year wedge that we were in. We found support at 995 and we popped up out of here. We probably could have took off to the moon, but they suppressed what the hell we're doing, which is fine. Ryan probably saw it and started offering shares. He says, nah, before they push it down, let's get these shares out. Great price point, Ryan. Good job. Okay, so check this out, though. So whenever you guys try to switch positions and go short versus long and long versus short, Ryan's going to offer shares and take your money. He's going to take it, and I love it because you guys got to buy the shares anyway. So check this out. As the stock finds support, we found it down here at 20 because the exempt was 3% on the 27th. 27, 28, they went 3%. We saw it. So if they held it down, they found the bottom over here, that might really be our low, our 20% low, $20 low, I mean. So this really might be as far as they could push it down at $20. If that's the case, if 2073 is the absolute low, Ryan Cohen bought it up, Larry Chang bought it up, Alan Adel bought it up, then we know for a fact that we have this true support pushing us past and that these wedges are going to be true. But if they can get it lower, where somebody else was saying the wedge gets played out further, this top line keeps coming down. So you could short it down. Listen, shorters, you guys could short this stock down further. All it's going to do is give us a better entry later on, because we literally, this ceiling right here comes down to this level. It's at this rate right here. So for us to be at $20 again, we could play that all the way till August. But if you ever want to get it like way down here to 17, well, just based off the trend, you might get it there by December. Go for it. We're going to be getting shares in December at 17. Could you imagine what the wedge is going to look like then? How compressed and how big of a bounce you'll get off of it? I don't think they can do it. I don't think they have the money to do it, to be honest with you. I think that everything's frozen right now, and that's where we're at. So, Wind Moon, forever, bro. It's going to happen today, tomorrow, every day. Tomorrow's MOAS every day. So I just want you guys to see the charts the way I look at them. You guys can see it any way you want to look at them. It's fine. We're going to talk on some stuff right now. I have some info to give out because, this is like education hour always with you guys. But before I do that, we're going to jump in here, and I'm going to read the chat. 206 watching and only 60 thumbs ups, guys. Get it going. I don't worry about it too much, guys. We'll be okay. 17, my house will be up for sale. Oh, man. Shout out to my wife. I'm wishing her the best of luck with every decision she makes in life. So she's been in my prayers and my heart. And she's got favorite songs. She does her thing. So right now I'm actually going to take a break before I teach you the good stuff. We're going to go over the Scott Bessent interview, by the way. And I know Jerome Powell's probably going to be speaking right now. I'm not worried about that. I got to play a song because I got to walk away for a minute. I will be right back. I'll leave you with the chart, with the GameStop chart. And but this is one of my wife's favorites, so that's why I'm going to play it. But let me see. Oh, let me see what I got here. Remember, it's Spanish Wednesday, guys. If you guys don't like Spanish music, well, liars. Number one song in the world was Despacito. Explain that to me. Gangnam Style. Yeah, exactly. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. I'll be right back, millionaires. Peace. Okay, yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked it so much I played it again. But Cristiano Ronaldo. That's my dude. Okay, back to the stock, back to the channel, guys. Yes, I'm reading the chat, and it says here, man, Mike Carney's meeting with Trump yesterday was an embarrassment for Canada. However, MSN is saying it was a win for Carney, played it perfectly. Not at all. He did not play it perfectly. If you guys didn't watch the actual meeting, Trump told him to his face, we're not going to buy steel from you. We're not going to buy cars from you. We don't want to do anything with you. You're Canada. And he says, we're not for sale. He said, never. And Trump said, never say never. And I'm telling you now, Mike Carney is playing a part. This is not true that they're not for sale. Canada is for sale. Canada's whole infrastructure, their whole pension plan, retirement plans, everything is invested into U.S. markets. No one's invested into Canadian markets except for the mob. Thank you, because I can, for that info. But when you guys are looking at the industries that are America and how they actually do their offerings, your pension plans are invested into private equity firms. Private equity firms at a standstill right now. Plenty of Plenty of things are telling you this. There's not deals being made. There's no M&A. There's no beneficial IPOs coming out. And what I mean by beneficial IPOs is private equity takes companies private. Then they repackage them up, cut out all the assets, carve it all out, make it profitable, and then they go hit the street again. They take it back public. They launch an IPO via a SPAC sometimes because it actually kills the timeline. And if they're able to go ahead and turn around, get it back up and running, then there you go. Then you're buying it for the public, and public's buying dead companies, and then they go bankrupt again, and or they just never find the true value. I've only seen one private equity investment actually make a profit and be prosperous and not have ties to downtrends, and that would be Hostess and the Twinkie. That's the only thing I've seen win. Everything else, it was brand selling, IPO acquisitions, and your intellectual property is one thing. This is why Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm so sorry, guys, but you're never coming back because that company doesn't exist. Overstock bought it. They sold it out. Overstock did partnership deals with Container Store for the same amount of money as Container Store was worth. Guess what? They're bankrupt too. I'm going to tell you, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen for everybody. But who's profiting from that? It's going to be Burlington. Burlington's profiting right now off of every retail company going bankrupt, whether it be Joann's, Michael's, and Bed Bath & Beyond, you name it, because Burlington is the next one. It's the next push it, to move it, to get it to the S&P 500. Massive amounts of money is absolutely being poured into Burlington, and so I know it. I know what's written on the wall, and just wait till you see it, and it'll happen. Burlington will get into the S&P 500 before GameStop, and that's okay. That's a private equity play. You got to know what's happening, and just know how it's all going to go down after that. Dollar General is no different. GoDaddy.com is no different. I've seen so many websites, so many things, so many different avenue streams. Etsy had its run into the S&P and pulled back out. A lot of things. So pay attention, okay, guys? Now, let's go talk about this interview. Am I ready for that? Or am I? You know what? Let me run through the chat really quick. I apologize, guys. Chat says, hey, just hopped on for my lunch break. Really appreciate you. Brady Frost, what a great author. I love your book, bro. Appreciate you, and thank you for jumping in. I used to have your book here on the shelf. I have it somewhere. I was reading it, and then I think my son took it to his room. But that's an author right there, Brady Frost, a good guy, and he watches the show. You know, crazy, right? I was working yesterday, and thank you so much for all the love and support on TikTok, guys. Appreciate you guys. I was working yesterday, and I'm standing there. And I'm dressed up, I guess, like a manager. I guess, a nice shirt, nice pants, nice shoes, and I'm standing there like this. I'm watching a forklift do its thing, and a lady walks up and she goes, "I watch your YouTube," and I was like, "Excuse me, like, ma'am, it's this Fight Club. We don't talk about that here." No, she's like, "Yeah," she's like, "There's not a lot of guys with the name Marantz." She's like, "It's got to be you." I was like, "It's me," and she's like, "Yeah. I've been in GameStop for a year." So shout out to her. Her and her husband been in GameStop for a year, and they watch the show. So I won't say her name out of respect to her, but I will say thank you for watching. All right, I meet these people in the wild, bro. They're regular people. They're good people. GameStop investors, good people. Spanish Wednesday, we're doing it. You like the amazing sweater? Man, I've had this sweater for 3 years. My wife bought it for me 3 years ago. And I wear it in the house. I wear it when I'm feeling, strong and victorious. I was really strong last night. I got home midnight, took the trash out, talked to Almo on the phone. I talked to Almo maybe 30 minutes. I hadn't talked to him in a long time, maybe 3 weeks. That's a long time for us. We're a bunch of females, bro. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had a female relationship. Your wife's, her and her best friends, they just talk all night about nothing. They catch up every night. You're like, what? Who are you talking to? Oh, it's just Lorraine. Oh, okay. Again? Yeah, talking about Becky. Okay. Shit. That's what it's like. But me and Am will do the same shit, and I don't care. We're just out there talking. We'll be on the phone just like, uh-huh. All right, let me call you back. Yeah, all right. It's fun. It's fun because we bounce it all off each other, ideas and what's happening. And where you're going to be. I saw this video, and it was a guy, and no disrespect to my UK brothers right now, but he said 100 British people, 100 Brits versus 100 Americans. Put them in a room with no weapons. Who's coming out? bitch. I'm sorry, bros. I'm sorry to tell you, my British brothers. I'm telling you right now, America's not as tough as they think they are. It depends who you put in there, though. Like, if I put in some hard-nosed dudes, I mean, there's some thugs out here, some real hard-nosed dudes, man. But if I put, like, 15 Karens, that could stop a whole room of British dudes. American Karens win every battle. I'm telling you, American Karens will whip the shit out of people. They'll sit there, they'll put their bicycle in front of you. Where are you going? What kind of dog is that? All that shit, bro. Yeah? Where's the paperwork? Do you have a permit to be here? Yeah, you guys cannot compete because American Karens, they have so much privilege. Way more so than, I mean, what are you going to do, Brits? What are you guys going to do? You guys lost a tea party. What do you want to do? Oh, it'll be terrible. Oh, if I put in a bunch of Ricos in there, shit. Reek's walking around. But you see, I say that, but then I tell you guys that I was watching the World Cup, and I was in Korea, and they had all these people, and I'm going to tell you right now, the size of the German team compared to the rest of the world, I was like, how? How does somebody 6'5", 230, 200 run like that, move like that? Like, that's some real shit. But if you had 100 wrestlers, I'm afraid of Kazakhstan. I'm afraid of Turkey. I ain't afraid of the Brits. Bro, I'll walk up in there. I just walk up in there like I would if it was 100 Frenchmen. I'd just walk up in there with the box full of croissants. Yeah, here you go. Calm down. Chill, bros. Yeah, no, I don't know. It was some funny shit on TikTok that I was watching, but I thought about it. I said, man, GameStop investors, we win everything. I want to give the rubber stamp just for an hour. Oh, is that what you want, hostile ticker? Take over? You want to just go and start? Yeah, I think we should renovate that. Yeah. The Obama building? The Obama library? Sure. You hear Trump yesterday say it? Trump was like, Obama could build a better library, but he wants to use DEI workers. He wants to use people who never built a building before. That's why it's not on time. I'd give him I give him my contacts, but he doesn't want them. Like, shit, that Obama library is going to be built, like just like the American train system. It's going to be built. Trump was trying to give you warnings there, Carney, and you weren't taking them. He was like throwing these shots at you, and you're right there. Well, I don't know. You know who you work for. Like everyone else, everybody works for somebody. Let me show you. Let's go ahead and watch this film right now, guys. And this is going to be from the Scott Bessent interview this morning on the Hill, getting his ass whooped. Scott Bessent, our treasurer, which, you know what? Two things about Scott. One, he's very humble to the point where he allows people to talk, and he'll talk when spoken to. He's not trying to overtalk people. He's not trying to talk over people. I have a problem with the way he doesn't command the conversation, like Tom Holland or anyone else out there that's in Trump's cabinet. Like, I mean, there's some dudes out there that can just talk, and you ain't getting your words out. Stephen Miller, is that one of the dudes? You're not getting your words out. You're not beating up our press secretary. You're not beating up anybody. But Scott Bessent was taking it. They're whooping his ass. And you know what? He had some good comebacks. But let's listen. You'll see how he can't control the conversations. But it's not fair that Congress is allowed to do this. Grandstand on their own. Filibust on their own. Interrupt on their own. Ask questions, not allowed to give answers. And that's the issue I have. But let's hear what Scott Bessent has to say.
I would very much like a more fulsome answer in writing. In January, the New York Times reported that you pressured David Lebrick out of his role overseeing that after he refused to grant that access to people that Elon Musk had imposed. Can you confirm the accuracy of those reports?
That's incorrect, Mr.
You met with him on January 30th, put him on administrative leave, and he left the day later. Is that accurate?
I did not put him on administrative leave. Administrative leave, I asked him to take. I met with him 90 minutes.
So you're denying the New York Times report. Was it your choice?
I am adamantly saying that the New York Times is inaccurate.
Okay, all right, fine. That's yes or no. New York Times is inaccurate. Fine.
He was not placed in administrative leave, and he subsequently resigned after sending numerous emails.
Sir, I'm just asking for yes or no questions. If you want to be voluminous, please write me a letter. Was it your decision to terminate Mr. Lebrick, or were you pressured by others?
He resigned.
Who made the decision to put him on administrative leave? You or someone else?
Again, sir, he was not put on administrative leave. That is highly
Okay, so you're
inaccurate.
denying the New York Times.
Highly
Fair
inaccurate.
enough. Tom Krause, you a fan of him, who's now playing that role?
Yes.
Okay. You'd mentioned earlier he was in that role. Do you agree that that role includes duties that include managing Treasury's payment system to ensure timely Social Security payments, overseeing auctions for U.S. Treasury bonds, which determine interest rates, and ensuring the U.S. doesn't breach the debt limit? Would you agree that that's all part of the functions of that job that Mr. Rouse is now holding?
No.
No. Shocking. Okay. Does Mr. Krause have any prior experience in government service?
He does not, neither do I.
Does Mr. Krause have any prior experience in the financial sector, which of course you do?
What's that?
Just, you can answer them. You don't need to, I'm doing this solo. You don't need the people behind you to help you. Does Mr. Krause have any prior experience in the financial sector?
He had, in the financial sector, yes, he's put together more than 100.
No. Did he work for a bank? Did he work for a hedge fund? Did he work for a private equity firm?
He worked for a private equity firm.
He's the CEO of a software company.
He's done more than 100 billion of tech deals.
He runs a software company. He's still the CEO of that software company, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
He is. Is it your view that that job that he's holding is a part-time job?
I'm not
Managing.
So let's stop right there. There was a lot being said there. And first thing he said was, that they pushed out David Librick from his position because he didn't give access to the DOGE employees. I think it's very clear David Librick is a lifelong employee of the government. That's all he's ever done. He doesn't have vast work experience outside of the Department of Treasury. Literally began his career as an intern in 1989. So yes, a lifelong intern turned Treasury, turned acting anything, didn't give access to DOGE employees to the Treasury because he's grandfathered in. And because he's that guy in the ranks, he went ahead and resigned because he wasn't going to do it, and they were going to whoop his ass. I don't care what these guys say. It was the Bureau of Finance system that he wasn't giving them access to find out how the employees get paid or where the money gets spent and sent. Two Treasury employees are on the panel for DOGE that were asking for the info because there is an act out there that does not allow non-vetted employees to have access to United States government info. But Scott Bessent himself doesn't have experience. Scott Bessent himself is worth around $500 million. Scott Bessent got his fund by being a partner of the Soros Fund Management Team, the SFM. Scott Burrow has this history with George Soros, paid back George Soros for all the money that he ever made. Scott Bessent made the company, the Soros Fund, Scott Bessent made George Soros a billionaire. If you guys are not familiar with the way it happened, there was a Black Wednesday in 1992 where they were shorting the British pound. And when that crisis happens, George Soros was on the other side of the trade, and Scott Bessent was the actual trader that got it all done. He's the one who actually was the head of the firm itself. So Scott Bessent has a huge history as far as finance goes and how to do it and when to do it. But he's being challenged because what he's giving this light to. If you guys don't know the inner workings of Scott Bessent, like the short seller himself, actually worked for Jim Chanos before as well. So the history of Scott Bessent, that's our treasurer, is no different than Janet Yellen, no different than Hank Paulson, Harry Paulson. Like, you literally got to look at these guys and say, okay, they're going to do what's best for Wall Street. This is why he agreed to tell, and him and Howard Lutnick, who's the Secretary of Commerce, agreed to tell Trump, hey, we got to lift these tariffs. We got to bounce this market back up. That was on April 9th. This is an orchestrated event. All of this is orchestrated, guys. I'm telling you, it's not like I'm guessing here. This is plain market manipulation from the highest chairs in the land. But moving out David Librick, was that a bad move? No, if he's denying DOGE to do the thing. But the guy they put into place and that they were talking about was Tom. Tom is was it Tom Bessent? I forget his last name. Was it Bessent? Is that who they said? I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Let's go ahead and play it back so that I can look it up real quick while I'm in front of you. He said he has a part-time job.
90 minutes.
So you're denying the New York Times report.
Mayor, trade. I'm almost out of time.
To that. And again, on one hand, you're saying you don't like tariffs, on the other.
Direct result of Mr.
Now I had it.
Stable coins.
And now I lost it because
What's going to happen if they?
The textile industry.
Start in my 7th year in Congress.
I can find it a different way. I can do it a different way. Watch this. Tom Kraus, that was his name. Tom Kraus, on the DOGE team, guys. He's the CEO of a tech company, they say. All right? Pay attention. So Tom Kraus is the one who actually replaced David Librick, okay? And Tom Kraus comes in, gives full access to the Treasury, books, everything. And this is Tom Kraus. He's a business executive. And Congress is pissed off that he's there. And I'm just going to tell you guys something. He has since been replaced on that team, but he's everywhere in the administration. He is a CEO. In 2016, he's with Arvigo Technologies as the vice president. They call him the CEO. He's not the CEO, but he's one of the main people of Arvigo Technologies is here. If you guys are not familiar with Arvigo Technologies, formation of Arvigo Technologies, KKR and Silver Lake acquired Semiconductor Partner Group, Alliant Technologies, 2005, $2.5 billion, and formed Arvigo Technologies. So KKR and Silver Lake own the company. And you guys understanding, these are the partnerships, a sub company under Broadcom. This is under Broadcom. So that's what you're currently looking up, Broadcom, and they have their ticker, which is AVG or AVGO as well. 7th largest company in the world, whatever the hell they are. This is the problem, okay? You can give access. You can have all the conversations you guys want to do about who's in the cabinet, who has this. I'm telling you, KKR, Apollo. Have you seen all the connections between Carlyle Group, Bain and Company? Everyone is embedded in the United States government. I don't care who they are. Maybe the one standing free and clear guy is Donald Trump. But when you have KKR and Silver Lake in on a deal, and we knew that they were just one floor apart in the Solo building in New York, like, you guys got to see it from every angle. Who owned GameStop? Who ran GameStop? Who was embedded in GameStop? KKR was in GameStop. Their board of directors were GameStop guys. Were KKR guys on big GameStop. Silver Lake was in AMC. This is the play against GameStop. It always has been. They manage a way to get all their money out at the right times, to have collateral, to do the next deal, and do the next deal, and do the next deal. I'm telling you guys, you're on the winning side. Now, I don't know what to tell the administration when they're partnered up with a guy like Tom Kraus, who comes from a foundation that's run by private equity. But Scott Bessent is no different. Scott Bessent is a hound of private equity. So we're in the same position we were in, just the last administration, just different characters and different titles. That's all it is. Global crisis is actually happening. The Hong Kong dollar just fell to the worst rate it's been ever. Ever. But yet, the U.S. dollar keeps falling down, and everyone else keeps going up. It's not that they're going up. We're just coming down, so that gives you more value for them. Pay attention. Pay attention to what the U.S. can't do. I actually had to hear it from Scott Bessent himself, and he said a strong dollar policy. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, so you want to make cuts, and you want to do all these things, but you still want to have a strong dollar? I was like, I don't understand how that's possible. Like, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. I live in the real world, guys. I know I voted for Donald Trump. I know what I voted for. I know the struggles we have. But there's economic policy, and then there's guarding the country. I love the foreign policy. I love the border security. I love all this. I love all these aspects. I hate the economic platform that this administration is running off of, and the manipulation they're doing to the market. But do I really care? Hell no, I don't care. I don't care what this market does. Just don't be confused and don't be baffled. Don't be surprised. When you look at a chart, just know There's only one thing you want to buy. As long as GameStop stays above $24.88, they can't do much. You're on an uptick. You're on an uptrend even now. I know the market's going down because the Fed just announced that they're going to freeze rates. Well, guess what? Here comes the sell-off I told you about yesterday. Fed's going to halt rates, and market's going to come crashing down. Absolutely. People are going to take profits where they can, but this was all orchestrated. This was all done. You knew it was going to happen. This is nothing new, guys. I'm happy you guys are here with me to watch it, but nothing new. That market's not 5,500. That market's a 4,800 market, and you're going to see it happen in real time. Other than that, I just came to hang out with you, show you what's going on the Hill. More distractions. Scott Bessent is no different than the next guy, but I don't get too caught up into it. I really don't. Traditional Spanish music's over, guys. I just want to say thank you again for showing up. Thank you, guys, and have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. We're actually going to do a live stream tomorrow night. Doing a night live stream. The daytime live stream will not happen because your boy is going up to the mountains, baby. GameStop is also going up to the mountains. Believe it. Hey, 24.88. I wonder if we actually make it down to what I told you. Hey, apple pie, pumpkin pie, calves in 5. Yes. GameStop, you know what's the best thing? Hey, guess what? I'm a sports guy through and true, right? I want the Cavs to win the damn championship so bad without LeBron James. LeBrick James. LeFlop. Oh, I can't stand them. I hope they win the championship without him. That's all I'm going to tell you guys. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. You know where to get at me, kids. Peace.
Chorando se foi quem dia só me fez chorar. Chorando se foi quem dia só me fez chorar. Chorando está quem nada.
Patri, ¿dónde andas? ¡Huereja!
Perdóname por dejarte, pero no te quiero como yo pensaba. Adiós.